When you create a pivot table, it's likely that you'll have data from many categories grouped together into a single display. If that's the case, it might make sense to print your data on a number of worksheets. There are two ways that you can separate your pivot table data. The first is by using the fields in the row labels area, and the second is by using fields in the report filter area. If your pivot table has more than one field in the row labels area, you can have Excel print each group on a new page. For example, in this worksheet, I have data from 2009 and 2010, and let's say that I wanted to print 2009 and 2010 on separate worksheets. To do that, you right-click any cell in the label field by which you want to separate. In other words, I want to separate by year, so I'll click one of my two year fields. In this case, right-clicking 2009. In the shortcut menu that appears, click Field Settings. In the Field Settings dialog box, the setting that we're interested in is on the Layout and Print page. And at the bottom of this page, you can check the Insert Page Break after each item box, and then click OK. You don't see anything on the screen, but if you go to Backstage View by clicking the File tab, and then click Print, you can see that 2009 will be printed on one page, and then if we scroll to the next page, 2010 will be printed there. Now click any tab on the ribbon to switch back. Now let's say that you create a filter using the Report Filter area, which I'll do by dragging the quarter field down to the Report Filter area. So now I have the ability to filter the data that appears in the pivot table. In this case, however, what I want to do is to print data from quarter number 1 on one page, quarter number 2 on another page, and so on. So the first thing I'll do, and this is just personal preference, but I'm going to remove the print area that's been set so that I have 2009 and 2010 on the same page. In other words, I don't want to have two settings at the same time. So I will right-click a value in the year field, click Field Settings, go to the Layout and Print page and clear the Insert Page Break after each item checkbox, and click OK. Now, with any cell in the pivot table selected, I can go to the Options Contextual tab, and then in the pivot table group, I click the Options button's down arrow, and then click Show Report Filter Pages. In the dialog box that appears, I verify that the quarter field appears, and that is the report filter page that I want, and click OK. When I do, Excel creates 4 different worksheets, one displaying data from quarter 1, the second, quarter 2, 3, and 4. And you can see those new worksheets down here on the tab bar with worksheets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's say I want to print all those worksheets. To do that, I select sheet number 1, and then holding down the Shift key, I click the tab for sheet number 4. Then, if I go to the print page of the Backstage View and print my workbook, these 4 worksheets will all be printed. The built-in Excel pivot table functionality enables you to separate your data when you print without necessarily separating the data in the workbook. Creating new worksheets for each item in the Report Filter area does add worksheets to your workbook, but setting the Insert Page Break after each item option enables you to separate those categories of data without affecting your pivot table's organization.